back, have you ever had a moment in your life that you think, if this specific event wouldn't have happened, everything could have been different? Whether it was maybe you were somewhere at the right spot at the right time, or maybe you did something that you didn't think was that impactful, but looking back it changed everything. Maybe you met a significant other, or you went to a career fair in 8th grade to let you know you wanted to be a dentist, or whatever it was. It affected who you are today. And I think it is so important to look back and think our experiences are who we are. All of those moments that we had in our life make up us. There are relationships, our personalities, our interests, who we are, what we're doing, all stem from these moments that seemed little at the time, but are so big. And as you can probably imagine, that's where I'm going with this. That was my defining moment. It was my study abroad. It was something that completely changed my life and changed how I view the world, and I found new interests, and I want to talk a little bit about that today. So my experience was in Freiburg, Germany, which is the very southwest corner of Germany. I'd like to talk a little bit about my pre-departure, kind of who I was before I left, and then the 14-month study abroad experience, the arrival, the actual program, kind of coping with having to leave, and then the traveling that I got to do while I was there, what I learned, who am I now, and then kind of a little something to keep you thinking about at the end. Before I left, I had always known I'd want to go abroad, but I didn't exactly know for how long or what I wanted to do. I was animal science, but I wasn't really sure I wanted to be animal science. I was in German 101. I never left the United States. I had when I was younger, but I didn't remember any of it. A little shy, it was hard to get out of my comfort zone. And so I'm telling you all this, and you're probably thinking, why in the world would you go abroad for 14 months? That's crazy. You can't speak the language. You don't know anything about anything. Why go? And I kind of had this attitude of, if not now, when? When was I ever going to be able to do this? And I just decided that despite all my shortcomings, that it was something that I thought I could do, and I just went. So next, I moved to Freiburg, Germany. This is a picture, the place that I got to call my home. I'm going to talk a little bit about my stages of growth. So the first few months I arrived in Bremen, Germany, and I experienced significant culture shock. I had to deal with not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, having a host family that 5 of the 8 weeks was on vacation in France, so not there. I had to figure out how to take the public transportation. I had to figure out how to communicate at the grocery store, how to mail posts, everything on my own. And I think that despite everything, it was kind of, unfortunately, a sink or swim situation, and I couldn't sink, so I just had to learn and teach myself very quickly how to swim. So in that first semester in Freiburg is when I began my studies at the university. I learned about the culture and met a vastly diverse people, and it eventually got a little bit better because I had a support system all of a sudden. But I was still learning about the culture. I was still dealing a little bit with homesickness. I was still trying to get over, missing America, but liking where I was at. And then that second semester was when the language skyrocketed, and when I accepted and began to love the culture. And then when I really called Freiburg my home, and found somewhere that I felt like I really loved and wanted to be. So as all good things, they come to an end. And so I look back on my experience and I reflect, because if you don't reflect on what happened to you, then how do you really learn? And so I thought to myself, what am I taking away from this experience? What am I bringing back home? And as you probably have known already, there's about 1 million things I can tell you that I learned, but I think the most significant thing that sticks out to me is meeting people from different backgrounds, having those people having different moments and different experiences that make them who they are today and who define who they are today. And just because they have different opinions than me or different perspectives on the world from me or come from a different culture doesn't make my culture wrong, or doesn't make my opinions better than someone else's. And I think that that's something that I take back with me to the United States when I'm meeting new people from new backgrounds and different cultures. And it's different, but that doesn't make it bad. And I think that's something that I really love that I learned, and I hope that I never kind of forget. And so the fact that I have this reverse culture shock and kind of experiencing like a lot of differences in America proves a little bit about how much I learned over there and how much I kind of integrated the German culture a little bit. And this experience basically changed everything for me. It changed my future, it got me out of my comfort zone, It expanded my horizons and my perspectives. It allowed me to experience the world. It introduced me to new people. It taught me a language. It showed me a culture. It helped me find a study I'm passionate about. It was the epitome of my defining moments. And I'm so grateful for this experience. I am so grateful for Freiburg, grateful to the 13 other countries I got to set foot in, to my parents and my family for supporting me on this fantastic journey, and finally to Michigan State for really kind of pushing students to think more culturally diverse and study abroad, and just kind of pushing the importance of that. And I'm so fortunate to go to the school that I go to and have to be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded who value the same things that I have learned from this experience. So here's a quick glimpse of a picture from the 14 countries that I was in. So really quick, I have Germany, France, Scotland, the Netherlands, Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, Great Britain, Italy, Thailand, Greece, Belgium, Switzerland, and the Czech Republic. And so lastly, I just want to say, I don't know where I would be in my life without my study abroad. It's hard to say, but I do know what I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have a craving to an adventure. I wouldn't be speaking German. I wouldn't have these friends, the lifelong friends, this changed perspective about the world. I want to be a global citizen. I wouldn't believe there is no limit to the things that you can accomplish. If you want to go abroad for a year and not know the language, do it. You can do it. It's fine. Everything will work out. So I guess to anyone in this room who's thinking about studying abroad, I just have to say, do it. Let the experience teach you a new culture. Let it introduce you to new people. Let it expand your mind. Let it make you discover things you never knew existed. Let it make you realize how incredibly small, yet insanely large the world is. Let it make you fall in love with a new place. Let it give you a new home, and let it leave you a little heartbroken when you have to say goodbye. Let it change you, because I promise that in some way it will. So if you're thinking, whether it's studying abroad or maybe doing something that's a little scary or a little new or a little bit of a change, do it. You never know how it'll change your life. So my question is, what's stopping you?